Hey, Calibrate family, welcome back. Did you know that learning a trade can be the best investment that you can ever make? Well, let's look at 3 trades that can change your life. Stick around, I'll see you right after this.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of benefits to learning a skilled trade. You're connected to a long tradition, and everything that you see around you is usually built by, or laid out by, or maintained by someone with a skill. And so, in terms of barriers to entry, it's actually fairly simple. Like LATTC Trade Tech here is very connected to the entire construction industry. It's a 2-year program, 4 semesters, and in the 4th semester they help you find a job somewhere. And honestly, the trades pay very well. Like, you can make a lot of money, more I think than a lot of people who go to a traditional 4-year college and end up working for a corporation or something. Tradespeople make a lot of money. So you put in your time. It's a lot of work, but it's satisfying.
What's up? My name is Stephen Robbins. I'm a diesel instructor right here for 142 Overhaul at Los Angeles Trade Tech College. I have an associate's degree in diesel technology. I've been in the field for 10 plus years. I graduated from Trade Tech back in 2014 with honors. I worked at Kenworth for 5 years. I worked at City of Santa Monica Big Blue Bus for 5 years, and now I'm back here as an instructor. I've been an instructor going on 3 years now here. This is a very important trade to get into. Diesel's not going anywhere. Diesel has the most British thermal units, the most power of anything. So only thing about diesel is the emissions. That's why we have after treatment systems on them now. Diesel is a great trade to get into because construction need them, earth movers, everything that gets transported through locomotive, building your houses, all the way to even transporting equipment goes through mostly heavy duty diesel engines, and they have to be that capacity in order to transport the equipment. So yes, diesel is a great trade to get into. It pays very well, a lot of opportunities as well. You know, I suggest you get the degree. You can go a lot further, you get more better positions, supervisors and stuff like that, or you can come back and be an instructor like me. All it takes to be an instructor is 6 years in the field, an associate's degree, and you come back and you also be an instructor like me. So yes, it's a great trade to get into, pays well, took care of me throughout my career, and it still take care of me to this day. So I suggest everybody take a trade. Ain't nothing like a hands-on trade because you can do it anywhere you go. You could make money everywhere you go around the world. It's all the same, but you gotta be able to do it and you gotta know what you're doing. So take a trade, it pays off. No battery, no power, no communication. Everything. You gotta have a key on, right? No communication to the ECM, you gotta have a key on to communicate.
So that's where all the soot builds up.
This is the soot. So this is the after treatment system, right? So this is the turbo. This is the turbo, right? The turbo comes in, the exhaust comes out. As it goes down our exhaust tube, it goes into our. This is the DOC, diesel oxidation catalyst, right? This is like your filter on your car, like your muffler on your car, right? Once it goes through the DOC, it goes to the DPF. This is the filter. This is the part where all the soot accumulates, and then we have to get our 7th injector or a post injection, send a little bit of fuel down to help heat up and burn the soot off of the face of the DPF. And once the soot burns off, it turns into what? What does soot turn into once it burns? Ash. It turns into ash, right? And then it turns into ash. And the DPF only takes so much ash. After it takes so much ash, we gotta take this off and clean it. And that's where we do DPF services at, right?
Those are the sensors.
These are differential pressure sensors. One coming in, one going out. Once it goes down here, right? This is our SCR system. This is where we get DEF. You see it has a little doser on the back part? Right here. This is a DEF doser right here, right? The DEF tank right there, that's the urea. The urea goes in, and once it goes through here, it's gonna go down to our SCR, right? Ammonia slip catalyst. This is our last thing it goes through. This is gonna take out the excess ammonia before it goes out to our tailpipe. This is our NOx sensor at the end with our tailpipe, and we should have no NOx and clean emissions coming out of our tailpipe at all times.
Is this kind of like the Delta sensor?
That is a Delta sensor, differential pressure sensor. It is same thing. It does. It has it on there too, but I gotta have one back here too. It has one right here too. It has look under here. It has one right here too. You gotta have one up there, and it has to have one back here, right?
Capacitance sensor?
Huh?
It's not the capacitance.
Capacitance, different. Yeah, capacitance, differential pressure, same thing, right? Tell you how full it is. If it's clogged up, or not, then of course you can take it off the service and keep it going.
And this is that kind of similar to when the engine does the regen?
Yes, when the engine does a regen, what it's doing is dosing, it's sending fuel down here, right? And it's to burn the soot off of the face of the DPF and turn it into ash. But then you're gonna do it so many times because ash, you can't reburn the ash. Once it's turned to ash is gonna stay there. So after so many times, you gotta take it off and blow it out, clean it out. You know what I mean? Did it clear? It turned on?
Yeah, now there's only the...
That's what I wanted. Okay, we good. Go ahead. Somebody else on here to troubleshoot this one. All right, so wait, who ain't troubleshot this one yet? Who ain't troubleshot this one yet? Y'all know y'all did it already, right? Who ain't troubleshot this one yet?
I haven't done it.
Go ahead, go on this one. You want to go on that one? Go on this one, go on this one. Who ain't there troubleshooting? Go on this one. Go ahead, go on this one. We got another one right here. You got the water and fuel separator. You got the Cummins string behind you so you can look at the fault codes as well. Go ahead and look them up and let me know what you find, right? Remember, the lab report, all you got to do is do the fault code number, description, and what you find. You find anything here yet? Not yet. Yeah, so do the 252. What the 252 say?
Cab shaft.
Cab shaft. What else connected to it though? It has a lot of things connected to
Intake
it.
manifold. Temperature pressure sensor. And then turbocharger compressor intake. Well, somebody can check that one. Visual inspection right now. Which one? Oh yeah, I already looked at it. But the one that, the crankcase pressure. Oh, crankcase.
No, that's not my I'm just gonna write it down here for now. All right, take a break. Let me
set it up again.
Let me make sure these false are on here the right way, man. Because I think the last team probably messed around a little bit. Just give me a couple seconds.
We have the same false.
Yeah, give me a couple seconds. Give me a couple seconds. Oh, let me. As a matter of fact, let's go. It's all good. They just prolonged a little bit for you. They prolonged a little bit for you. Put this back in there where you found it at.
I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering. If I get my eyes wet,
Damn. Oh shit.
I'm getting back.
That was what I was facing.
Dry liners. This is one sleeve right there.
Oh, the top stuff.
One sleeve or top, the top stuff liner. First run. Mid stop liner, bottom stop liner. This is the valve spring.
All right, hey y'all, my name is Demori, but everybody know me around here as Tex. I'm a second semester carpentry student and I love carpentry. The main reason why I got into this is because I love building. When you build a structure that's here for over 100 years to be here longer than you, and you gotta love the smiles that people give you, you know? It's fabulous, man. And I've been learning a whole lot since I've been here, even though I've been in carpentry already. But this right here is where I get my education of carpentry. I know the roots and where it all come from. And I've been furthering my education. I've been getting great job offers. Right now, I've been getting recommendations from the professors and stuff. And I'm also gonna come back here to teach later on when I get my years of experience. And right now, I got this job that's coming on to me after I graduate, which is about like maybe $260,000 a year plus 30% bonus. But right now, I gotta stay on top of my game so that could be my guaranteed job when I get out. But this is it, y'all. This is where you learn everything at, how to build houses, foundation, cement. You can find the littlest thing. We even got finished carpentry here. We got down there that way. It's called CNC machine where you design little pictures out of wood, and it's fabulous. It's amazing. And then we got our fabulous teacher, Mr. O. He's a doer. He teach you how to do the easy stuff. Miss J down there, first semester teacher. Now she's an estimator. She tell you how to get the precise estimates, your takeoff sheets, your orders, how much money you should be getting, how much gross profit, everything you need to know to run a company. Just taking first semester alone, you could go take your contracting test and you could pass it right off the bat just from first semester. Second semester, you get more hands-on, less homework, build all this. First semester, always easy. Second semester, hands-on, more hands-on. Third semester, that's when you get Mr. Alvarez, concrete, and it's fabulous. He teach you how to do form work, how to build the walls, everything around concrete. Then fourth semester is finished carpentry, like doors, door jambs, cabinetry, everything you can think of that goes inside of the house after the rough frame of things, okay? But come down here to LATTC, man, you're gonna get a fabulous education here. We even got more trades in carpentry, but this is the spot. Networking, friends, and long-term goals, come here to LATTC. By text.
taking up carpentry just to learn more about the trade. I want to be able to focus on, the structural engineer aspect of, how to put together houses. We live in these spaces. These are our communities. The more that we practice, like these trades, the more ownership that we have over like our spaces and whatnot. So I think it's good to come back and like learn a trade. It doesn't take too much time. You pull up and then you'll learn. That's it.
All right, guys, I know sometimes when it comes to those home improvement projects, it can be overwhelming and you just don't know where to start. That's why I'm inviting you to go and grab this simple home improvement planner that'll take all the stress off. It works on any device with a PDF reader. You don't need any special software. You can view it online or offline. You can even print specific pages if you need. And it's so easy to share with contractors or family. You can set and track your total budget. You can break down costs by category. You can record material expenses, track contractor payments, keep digital receipts. You can compare estimated versus actual costs. And the great thing about it is you can monitor your spending in real time. And the best part about it is you can document your whole journey because it allows you to take before and after pictures for each room or area of your home or space. Guys, this is the perfect planner to get started, especially if you're beginning on your DIY journey. You want to start it off right. So go grab the Calibrate Home Improvement Planner. I'll leave the link in the description below. And you guys have a great one.